Hey everybody, welcome to Chai Guys. My name is Kyle.
I'm Steve. I almost said I'm Mike.
Oh no,
Would have
that
been
would
really
be
strange.
really awkward. So this is a thing we're trying out. We're two guys and we like tea.
Yeah, not just chai, but lots of tea.
Yeah, we
All
like
kinds of
to
tea.
we like to branch out. And we have a little bit of light conversation.
Yeah.
Nice and mellow. Nothing too
Casual,
hard topics. We're not
Yeah,
gonna
nothing
talk
difficult.
about
We're not going to talk about the war.
too much. Yeah, no, nothing like that.
Nothing like that.
But every time beforehand, we make a nice little cup of tea. Our tea today is called Purple Needle Black Tea of Jingmai Mountain. I got it off of Yunnan Sourcing.
Something like that.
That's where the fancy pants people go to buy their tea.
Yes, in bulk.
So we just had a nice sip of it, and it's you know what, I like my black teas.
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid tea, I would say.
Yeah, no, yeah, I can definitely tell this is going to be a tea that'll keep me up in the morning. You can definitely tell there's some caffeine in this.
Mm-hmm. This is definitely a very good early morning tea.
It's actually a nice orangey color, which kind of transitions us well into our topic
That's a very
for this
good
time.
transition you just made there.
Guys, it's October. It's a spooky month. We're going to talk about Halloween.
Yeah.
So, Steve, my first question I have for you is, what was your favorite Halloween costume?
Oh no. So I'm a really poor person to ask this question.
Oh no.
I stopped wearing Halloween costumes in like 4th grade.
Wow. Why is that?
I don't know. I
You
mean,
just
a
didn't
lot of
think
it
was cool anymore?
that's how I played it. Like that's what I told myself, and that's what I
Gotcha.
told my parents and stuff like that as to like why I wasn't going trick or treating. I think probably the real reason was social anxiety, and I just didn't want to admit it. And around like 4th grade, it kind of got like real bad. So that's what happened there. But I think my favorite costume would probably be the last one, which so since I can pretty much name all of the costumes I ever had on one hand, well, at least that I can remember. 1st grade, I was Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
1st grade?
First
you
grade,
were
I was
into Star
Obi-Wan
Wars?
I mean,
You were
not
more into
really.
the
Like,
cool guys with lightsabers.
I guess, like, 1st grade, I mean, I don't think I actually knew who Obi-Wan Kenobi was. I think that was just, like, a costume my parents wanted to put me
I'm
in.
lightsaber man.
Yeah, like, as far as I know, I was dressed up like an old guy. 2nd grade, Alien. My mom made me this full-on, like, alien costume with, like, a head and everything.
Were you like green, black eye alien with weird head kind of deal?
All silver. Like a gray alien guy.
Ooh.
Little gray alien guy.
We're talking like Roswell-y.
Yeah, like Roswell, like
Okay.
X-Files. My mom was super into X-Files, and I watched.
that
a lot
explains
of
a lot.
X-Files, so yeah, that does explain a lot about me. 3rd grade, I was a paranormal investigator.
Excuse me? Were you trying to find your past self there?
Invader Zim came out that year.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's what happened there. But I was a paranormal investigator in 3rd grade, and a lot of times I remember getting asked, like, what are you? And I said, oh, I'm a paranormal investigator. And one guy at one of the houses said, a para what? He just was totally taken aback and confused, almost didn't give me candy.
Oh my god.
I think I was just like, FBI agent? That's basically what I am. And then 4th grade, I combined my previous 2 costumes. I was an alien who had taken over the body of a paranormal investigator. So I recycled my paranormal investigator costume.
All right. I'm picturing an alien head with like a suit.
Yep. That's exactly what I did.
That's fancy.
And then that was
thinking on your toes.
it. Yeah.
Have you ever revisited Halloween?
It's weird because Halloween's actually like one of my favorite holidays.
Right.
And I really enjoy Halloween music, which is a rarity. Like, you can't find Halloween music
True.
I mean, Oingo Boingo, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
But Halloween music I really love. I love spooky themes. I love the colors. I love the decorations. But I never really got into like the costume thing. I did want to dress up one year back in college as Dr. Horrible.
Okay.
I got like...
I was actually listening to some of those songs today. I was wondering if they hold up.
Such a good soundtrack. Yeah, like I still have the goggles that I was going to spray paint silver.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like welding goggles. Still wear them from time to time because I'm weird. Um, but yeah, it just never like the costume that I needed to like get to like put it all together was just too expensive, and I didn't really know what I was doing, and I was like, what would I even do? Because it was not like I was going to go to a party. I was just going to be dressed up like Dr. Horrible in my dorm room. That was kind of weird to me. So I was like, I'll just
You could have roamed
play
the
ukulele.
campus.
I
Maybe
could have.
maybe found a Captain Hammer.
I was still a little bit too anxious, I guess.
That would be so fitting, though.
It would have worked out really well. Looking back,
go to a laundromat.
That's a really embarrassing story. I've got a story about that.
Oh no,
it's really embarrassing, but we'll save that for another time. Maybe we'll have like an embarrassing stories topic.
Oh, that is a good one. We'll have to write that one down.
So we'll throw that question back to you since I just talked for like 20 minutes.
Okay.
What's your favorite costume?
So, I'm kind of on the opposite end here, where I went trick-or-treating for a very uncomfortable amount of time.
I did go trick-or-treating on separate occasions after fourth grade.
Okay.
Mostly because like I would have friends come over and they would like forcefully drag me out of the house to go trick-or-treating.
But did you not have a costume?
The only one that I really remember is one time I found an old mask in my closet, threw that on, wore a black hoodie, put it over my head, and
there you go.
Some like 8-year-old at one of the houses told me I looked like shit, and I was like, "Wow, you are 8." I was like 14
You're
at the time. It's not nice. Anyway.
Yeah, no, probably my favorite and the one I'll have to mention most is one year I told my mom I wanted to be Link, and she just went like, she went ape, and she made a tunic and the hat and everything.
That's like cool mom category.
Yeah,
that's like,
no, my mom knows her way around a sewing
plus.
machine, and she was just like, you know, I haven't had a sewing project in a while. She's like, let's bust these chops out, and man, did she nail it. That was like the happiest I was like around Halloween. Like,
what like year was that?
Good. Oh boy, if I had to guess, I'd say it was either 5th or 6th grade.
So that's when you still love your mom and you still like, you haven't gone through that phase where you're like,
oh yeah,
mom?
I hate my parents. Yeah, no,
that stupid idiot phase everybody goes through.
I mean,
did you not really go? I don't know that I really went through one of those phases. I definitely like got through. You know, I went through like I don't like my parents as much, but I don't think I never was like I never acted out or anything like that. I wasn't. Really...
I'm sure there were times I did, but I just don't remember because as a memories you really don't want to think about too much. No. One year I attempted to make my own costume, and do you know the man in the windmill of the Legend of Zelda games? Yeah, he has like the sonograph thing above him, and he has a little thing. So it was a really bad costume, and no one knew what I was. But I'm explaining this whole costume in its complete details. I got a lampshade, a PVC pipe that was really wide.
I like where this is going.
A backpack, and I kind of like wired all those things together. I put my iPod in there, blasting the song. I got a little shoebox to hold, and I bought a cheese grater. And put the crank out of the side. Oh no, it was like one of those handheld
one
ones.
of those. Yeah, okay, I get what you mean.
And so that way I had like a little crank. So I held my shoebox, I cranked it up, and everyone opened the door and went, "What the fuck?" Yeah, I definitely confused a lot of people that day. I remember I was trick or treating with my friend Alex Foster at the time. I don't remember what he was, but it definitely was nothing related. And he was just filled with lots of questions. I remember my mom was a big fan of an alligator costume I wore in like 3rd grade. Mm-hmm. Apparently, I do like that thing you see in all the America's Funniest Home Videos where I just put the tail between my legs. And I just wouldn't stop doing that. I
think one year when I was really little, like pre-kindergarten, I think I was a cat and I did the same thing.
I'm surprised you don't dress up as a cat more often.
That also explains a lot about me now, doesn't it?
Steve has 3 cats for the uninformed
for the listeners.
But they are all lovable and adorable, and I love them.
They're all perfect.
Well, maybe not one.
Maybe not perfect, but they're all great.
Marlo does like knocking everything over in sight.
Surprisingly, lately he has been the one that is more like well behaved, and
really?
Zoe.
Zoe's been acting out.
Zoe's been acting out,
Oh boy.
and it's not even like she is like destructive or anything like that. It's more just like she just really wants attention. So like all this morning there was just scratching at the door, scratching, and then little tiny Zoe cries, which I'm not going to mimic right now. Right. But imagine just the softest little meow. Aww. That's basically all she's capable of. They're closer to squeaks than anything else.
Oh, Zoe.
And that's been like my every morning this week.
Oh, jeez.
It's fantastic.
All right. So second question up to the docket. Steve, what is your favorite candy?
Oh, God, this is such a tough question.
But like, we'll limit it to Halloween candy.
Like, so like the type of stuff that you would get.
Right. We're not talking like king-size Hershey bars. Nobody does that.
Except that one house.
I had a house on my street that would give soda.
Ew.
Like, there's a whole can. They worked for some kind of like soda company. Okay.
That makes a lot of sense.
They just have like cans and cans. There would just be a bucket with ice and water in it, and you just fished for one. It was nice.
That's also a little strange, but yeah, that's nice. I can imagine though that would be
oh, it was the
awesome.
Best thing
that would be
awesome
awesome to get as a kid.
Yeah,
because you're walking around for so long too. Yeah. You're bound to be thirsty, and all you've got is candy. Chocolate just makes you thirsty.
Oh my God! You know what? Parents out there who listen to this, maybe bust out a case of water. You know, give those kids some water. They're thirsty.
In addition to the candy.
Yeah.
Bust out like 12 cases of water.
Oh my God! Just like tape a Kit Kat to a water bottle and just give it to them.
There you go. Throw it to them, football style.
Dress up as a football player. Throw the candy at him.
Anyway, favorite candy. You know, I never really liked them that much growing up, but I've grown like partial to them in recent years. The bite size Milky Ways.
Oh no, I'm the same. I was gonna say the same thing.
Really? Is it the same thing? Like you didn't really like them growing up, but then you loved them growing up too?
All right, I don't mean to step all over your question, but here's the thing: like big Milky Ways, I feel like are too much.
They're too much. They're gross.
But the bite size, they're like perfect. It's just the right amount. Oh man,
I think second place to that. Maybe not even second. Maybe they're neck and neck. Reese's Cups. You can't go wrong with a mini Reese's Cup. I mean,
very true.
It's perfect.
Plus, like they don't get all melty in the middle like the big ones.
Mm-hmm. You just pop that baby in your mouth. You're good to go.
No, I guess the only other one I do want to give some props to is Three Musketeers for almost the same reason as Milky Way. I feel like I can't handle a full bar.
What is the difference? The Three Musketeers has like the like caramel at the bottom or something?
No, it's like a whipped...
That's right.
Yeah. And Milky Way is the caramel and the nougat.
The caramel and the nougat, right. Which are like also my favorite parts of the Snickers bar. Bite off the bottoms of the Snickers bar. I'm some sort of heathen. I mean, fine. I eat the rest of it, but I always start by biting off the bottom.
It was always so interesting. I remember... specifically at Halloween, I like you understand what your candy limit is, and at a certain point, I remember being like, forget the sugar candy, man. Like, get me the chocolate. Like, I don't want Smarties. I don't want like Gobstoppers or.
At a point, I mean, I think in general, I prefer the sugar candies, but. I gotta agree. Like they get to be too much.
Yeah,
too
you
fast.
Have like four, and it's like, wow, no.
Especially like you have like one pack of Smarties. That's it. That's all I need. I don't need 18 packs of Smarties.
I will admit, I did bank on that a little bit. I remember as a kid, like when you sit down, you have the whole trade thing going on, and I'm like, yo, give me those Smarties. A lot of people didn't like Smarties.
Yeah. The good thing about the Smarties, since there were too much at any one sitting, those lasted.
Yeah.
If you had a bag full of Smarties, you had candy until fucking Christmas. And that's the goal.
Oh yeah.
The goal is to make that shit last. And get as many cavities as you can possibly get.
Oh man, my mom's a dental assistant. She was not very happy
Oh,
around Halloween time. She never took my candy or anything, but she made sure I brushed very well those days.
brush and floss. Get in those.
She was never too whip cracky about the floss, which is interesting because I became very whip cracky about floss because I ate a lot of popcorn.
There you go.
Yeah,
That'll do it.
I'd have a lot of trouble with kernels. I don't even want to talk about when I had braces and I would still eat popcorn.
Were we not supposed to eat popcorn
You
when
were
we had
definitely
braces?
not allowed to eat popcorn, and they always knew because
Because it
stuff
would just be stuck in there.
In there. It was
God,
bad.
braces was the fucking worst.
Yeah, I did have a Halloween with braces.
Yeah. Just one? How long did your braces last?
That's a good question. I want to say 2 years. Oh god, I remember getting those off was like the happiest day of my life.
God, yes. I think the best part about my orthodontist was like the worst. The
Did you have
absolute
Elfman?
worst. Huh?
Did you have Elfman?
As in Danny?
No. No, but go on.
But she I have one this actually goes well I think with the theme because
Okay.
it's a scary story.
Oh.
There was one time toward the end of my braces, she was doing whatever the hell it is that they do, and I never understood what they were doing inside my mouth when I went to the orthodontist. I never understood.
They were putting a wire in and they were tightening.
Besides, yeah, they did the tightening thing, but she would always poke that was like the assistant did that.
Mm-hmm.
The orthodontist would come over, and I don't even know what the hell she was doing. I don't know why she was there, but she's poking around in my mouth, and she just goes, "Oh, Steven, you have a loose tooth." And then, like 2 seconds later, I hear her mutter, "Oh dear God, it's bleeding." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing in my mouth right now, woman?" So she basically, no anesthetic, no nothing. She removes that tooth, no warning.
It was a baby tooth.
Yeah, no, it was a baby tooth. It wasn't a. I'm not like missing a tooth now. She removes the tooth, and then she goes and I don't think she even told me that she removed the tooth, but she removes it, and then tells me, go to the bathroom, like rinse out, whatever. I go to the bathroom and I look in the mirror, and my face is like covered in blood, and I start to say, "What the fuck?" And as I start to say, "What the fuck," blood pours out of my mouth into the sink. And I almost lost my shit. I was like, what the fuck is happening? I'm in a nightmare.
Oh my gosh.
So that's something she did. She's also pulled my sister's teeth one time, and like the tooth broke while she was doing it.
Oh my
so she pulled it
gosh.
out in bits. No anesthetic, no nothing. Like she just yanked that shit. So when I no longer, if they told me I was supposed to keep coming back like monthly for like checkups or whatever, you wear the retainer, which I never did. You're supposed to wear the retainer, come back every month. 1 month I just didn't. I lied to my dad and was like, "Oh no, that's next week." And then my dad forgot, and I pretended to forget, and I never went back. And that was the happiest day of my life.
Oh man, I feel like everybody has that moment where you pick up your retainer for the last time.
It's like that moment when your kids pick you up, or when your parents pick you up for the last time.
So there is one more thing I want to bring up before we finish out, and that is our joined love for skeletons.
Oh yes.
Both me and Steve are proud owners of very large skeletons.
You got one?
I had just bought one recently, but I was also a proud owner of one in my office for quite some time.
That's right. Remember that?
He was a little cheapo guy, but he stayed in my office for 2 years.
Wow.
He became a little mascot. His name was Boney.
Boney the skeleton.
And now I have Boney's dad, which I have been informed might be Boney's mom. Someone I work with is like taking an anatomy course.
Okay.
And they're like, well, the bottom of the pelvis is definitely a woman, but the top of the pelvis looks like a man. So you're the judge on this one.
Why not both?
I guess, yeah, both.
Yeah, that's a thing.
So right now, the way my setup is, I have 2 monitors in front of me and a very large TV on top of that, just so I can show off the videos to my boss. And he is on top of the TV with his elbows over. He's just kind of giving a shrug. So where's what's your skeleton's name?
He's Randy.
Randy.
the skeleton.
What's Randy look like right now?
So Randy right now, so I have this big jack-o'-lantern onesie that I bought at Primark last year.
Primark's such a nice store.
Primark's the best store. Oh my god, they're so good. So one morning when I woke, I was running late for work, but this was too important. I grabbed Randy. I grabbed my onesie. Caroline is my girlfriend. She was still asleep in bed, and I put Randy in the pumpkin onesie.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I like how you have to signify that because she could be another skeleton in this situation.
She could be another, or like a cat or something. Who knows? At 3. So she's still asleep. I grabbed Randy. I grabbed the pumpkin onesie, and I stuffed him right in that thing. Just zipped him up, set him up in like the. He's in our living room next to our TV right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was like the first day of October or first day of September. I don't know. I get like super into Halloween. Like I am ready to start decorating like fucking August 25th. Like it can't be Halloween soon enough. So I set him up, scared the shit out of Caroline when she woke up. She sent me very angry texts that morning. But he's been there pretty much ever since. I think right now he has our little skeleton. We've got a little baby skeleton who his head popped off last year.
Oh, that's right.
I think you were there for that.
I remember.
He just fell and then
up.
his head just
give up, skeleton.
popped right off. So he is sitting on Randy's shoulders at the moment. It's just headless Nick.
Baby Randy.
And I think also on top of all of that, Randy's wearing a wizard hat. So that's where Randy is right now.
Oh boy. Oh man, I gotta say, there's just something about skeletons. They're not as creepy as mannequins, but you can still like have fun with them and pose them, and they're just silly.
Yeah, they're really not scary. Skeletons are not.
I mean, if it's walking and coming at me, I might have some.
Yeah,
other
maybe.
thoughts,
I've got some bad memories from Oblivion, but that could have been because it was Oblivion. So who even knows?
I remember those Skyrim skeletons always go down in one hit. They're always a hoot. And it's like, oh, what do you think you're doing? Oh, he thinks he's people.
That's good.
You just crouch and shoot him with an arrow because that's all you.
Because
do
that's what it does, and you're gonna hit him no matter what, even if it goes right through the bones. Doesn't matter. They're gonna still scatter. It's the wind that does it.
Oh man,
what holds them together?
Magic, love, and the spirit of Halloween.
There you go. Magic, love, and the spirit of Halloween. That's what holds skeletons together.
Isn't it what holds us together?
I mean, we're held together by skeletons, so yes.
Okay.
Ultimately,
it all comes back to skeletons.
Ultimately.
Make sure to brush your skeleton
every night. Brush and floss and use mouthwash. It's technically your skeleton you're brushing every night.
Such a horrifying thought, but
it is really
it's so
terrifying.
True. Oh well, guys, we're gonna wrap it up today. Hope your Halloweens are spooky and your evenings are spookier.
Yeah, and I hope you get yourself some tea and enjoy it. Have a nice, relaxing night.
Yeah,
or morning or afternoon.
So from us at Chai, guys. Have a good night.
Yeah.
And I just spilled my tea on me. Great first episode.